Hi, welcome back to the final episode of OTH Inside for this season of One Tree Hill. Let's get right to it and find out what happened on the season finale. Well, it was a pretty emotional episode for the characters of One Tree Hill this week, and I gotta say I was a little surprised that we ended the season without a single cliffhanger. But of course, there were lots of things that made it a quintessential episode of One Tree Hill. There were lots of people visiting graveyards. There were some overwrought metaphors about life and death, and of course there were lots and lots of tears. Most of those tears, however, turned out to be tears of joy. It seems like every single one of our core couples ended up living happily ever after, at least for now. That, of course, includes Peyton and Lucas, who sort of drove off into the sunset with their new baby at the end of this show. They won't be coming back as series regulars next season, although I wouldn't rule out a guest spot or two. Of course, Nathan and Haley see their dreams coming true. He got called up to the NBA. Mouth and Millie are back together in Tree Hill. And even Austin and Brooke ended up together on a movie set in LA, declaring their love for each other. I thought, this was one of the years they knew they were getting picked up for another season early. It really surprised me that there were no big cliffhangers. This is a show that usually ends each season with 3 or 4 or 12 cliffhangers. But I guess Mark Schwann was in a good mood when he wrote this episode and wanted everybody to end up happy. Well, of course, in the finale, Chad and Hilarie left the show, and of course, they're not going to be back next season, so we thought it'd be fun to look back at some of the highlights of Chad and Hilarie here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Now, these two have always, been people who you could count on to support local charities, and they've participated in such events as the Big Buddy Classic, a charity softball tournament between the cast members of the NBC show Surface, when both those shows aired here at the same time, and also, they could always be counted on to show up at James Lafferty's charity basketball tournament over the years. Now, Chad made a stir a couple years ago when he brought a lot of fans out to the Azalea Festival when he escorted his fiancée, Kenzie Dalton, who was part of the Queen's Court. And, of course, more recently, Hilarie Burton has been seen around town feeling her own creative juices working on her new company, Southern Gothic Productions. So, Hilarie, Chad, we're going to miss seeing you working on One Tree Hill. Hilarie, it's good to know that Southern Gothic's going to be keeping you here, at least for the time being. And we know that the fans will miss you, and we will miss you here as well. Well, that's all the time we have for this installment of OTH Inside. I look forward to seeing all of you next season. And in the meantime, you can catch up with all the local buzz about One Tree Hill. Filming should start back up here in the summer, and you'll get those details right here at starnewsonline.com/OneTreeHill.